Okay, I'm live. Hello, it's Sandy, Environmental Coffee House, and let me just get this thing where I'm comfortable. Okay, there's a band behind me, and they're getting started. They're not playing now. They're doing something in town here. But all right, so today I want to talk about fracking industry because it's been on my mind, but I want to go over just a couple of things from the other day. Talking about the media and how what we are exposed to, and basically, it was really good. The comments were fantastic. I got a lot of links and a lot of people, a lot of interest in discussing a lot of the stuff that's going on. With our ability to understand what we read. Now, today, I am going to read something that I have some background information on, and it's about fracking. And oh God, I'm so uncomfortable. I don't know where I can see better. All right, doesn't matter. Let's go for this. So, welcome those of you who have joined me. I do want to. I seem a little disjointed, but hey, Max. Max is joining us from Finland. I'm a little disjointed, but let me tell you, Guy McPherson today was on a progressive show, Jamarl Thomas. And if you all get a chance to see that interview, it was interesting. Look at the comments on a progressive platform. Hi, Kim. Kim out in Washington. Look at the comments out on a progressive platform. But anyway, yeah, let's talk about this. This is in DeSmog Blog. I like DeSmog Blog, even though somebody did send me a whole big thing on media and which publications, which lean which way and all, and I don't care. I like it. I like DeSmog Blog. They also, I think, are reliable. If anybody has any, other thought about it, you let me know. So this is from yesterday. The fracking industry is cannibalizing its own production, increasing spill risks. So not only do we have to worry about, of course, climate change and fires and floods and hurricanes, tornadoes, droughts, all those other things, but we still have to worry about the shit we are doing to our communities. And fracking is just one of them that really, really is such a bad idea. We've known this for a long time, but we're all driving. And in my state, fracking is banned. Fracking is not a good thing here, but yet we're such hypocrites. We are taking it from Pennsylvania. And being that we're taking it from Pennsylvania, we're hypocrites in New York, and they're still doing things. There's still a fight that has to be started up with, the sun is really in my eyes, with natural fuel gas, which I don't think I can read with these on, which actually is something we thought we won, but we knew that this company was going to continue to try to build a pipeline that was going to go through my community and all the way through under the Niagara River in New York, which, if you know what the Niagara River is, it goes into Lake Erie, So if there is a pipeline leak under the Niagara River, we could really be in a lot of deep doo-doo. And so that's ramping up. But it's on my mind because there's also another proposal here, and it's all bull. It's like, okay, these are called microgrids. Instead of calling them, whatever they are, like the processing plants, these companies now are trying to shove these microgrids down our throats and say that, oh, they're small, they're just going to be in every little town. Lock New York State in for another 40 years of this. And it's just really... It's really annoying. So here's this article. I'm going to do it quickly because I think the music's going to start over there. And I'll tell you what, I'm going to turn around because I cannot stand the sun in my eyes. I'm really sorry, guys, but I have to do this, if you don't mind. I can't read this with the sun in my eyes. So I'm turning around and I feel much better. I probably should have started this over or oh God, much better. Okay, let's get with it now that I've wasted enough time. So in DeSmog Blog, in the climactic final scene in There Will Be Blood, arguably the greatest movie about the oil industry, the main character, played by Daniel Day-Lewis, explains how he sucked the oil from a neighbor's land by using horizontal drilling. To help his neighbor understand what has happened, he explains it by saying he took a very long straw and drank your milkshake. Well, guess what is happening with the fracking revolution that is built on the concept of horizontal drilling? Not only are the oil producers drinking each other's milkshakes, they are drinking their own, and in the process losing even more money and raising the odds of dangerous environmental risks. Don't we have enough already? Do we need human stupidity and greed even at a more heightened level? Obviously we do. Frack hits, aka they call child wells. The first thing to understand is that this is simply a problem of the industries being greedy. I say, the oil producers are drilling too many wells in close proximity to one another, and when they frack the newer wells, known as child wells, those bash or hit the older wells and they cause problems. What is happening is that not only are the child wells cannibalizing the production of the existing parent well, but when the child wells are fracked, they can create frack hits that damage the parent well. So these frack hits can reduce the pressure in the parent well, leading to lower production. They can damage the parent well, oh, so noisy here, to the point of it being a dead well. And of course, they can lead to spills and environmental contamination. Claudio Veruz, a senior reservoir engineer with the oil and gas company Nexen, explained the basic problem of frack hits in the Journal of Petroleum Technology. You usually have two scenarios, Veruz said. One may be that you have a temporary loss of production, but you will recover to the trend that you had before. The other will be really bad for your production and reserves. And I think we've all read things about this. What's going on? Oh, somebody's having problems with my sub. All right. Anyway, what am I being censored on YouTube now? Facebook? What did Facebook call YouTube? Okay, I'm so dangerous, aren't I? All right. So Bob Barry, who runs the petroleum engineering consulting firm Barry and Associates, explains the really bad scenario. You put the well back on production and you've lost your pressure, the velocity, the inflow capacity, and the well is just dead, Barry said. And that means the fracking industry loses even more money. Ay, 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 ay. In another article in the Petroleum Technology, the Journal of Petroleum, titled Frack Hits Reveal Well Spacing may be too tight, completion volumes too large. The author references a technical paper by engineers at Shell that estimates that if a producer has an inventory of 2,640 acre drilling sections and each new well costs $5 million, then adding just a single unneeded well to each section would cost the operator $10 billion. Do you understand the money we're talking here? The money is what this is all about, and these people that own these companies, like National Fuel Gas, they don't give a shit about the communities. They don't really care about the end user. They care about this whole gigantic big profit margin they think they're going to have. And obviously in the fracking, hi Eric, in the fracking industry, they're losing it. So industry experts admit they don't know what they're doing. The industry has certainly acknowledged frack hits are a major problem. Have any of you heard of this? The one industry currently has no idea how to solve. Hi, Pooh Ball. Energy industry research and consulting group Wood Mackenzie has studied the issue of frack hits and child wells and has concluded the following. Closely spaced child well performance presents not only a risk to the viability of the ongoing drilling recovery, but also to the industry's long-term prospects. Virtually every operator believes child well performance is a material issue, but there is no consensus on how to address it. So a risk to the viability of the industry's long-term prospects for an industry that has never made money isn't a very positive outlook. Where do they make their money? The pipeline companies. You know who's richer than rich is, what's his name? Kelsey Warren from Texas. There's Enbridge. Here there's Empire. You know, they all have these wonderful goddamn names, but let's get to this. Frack hits increase environmental damage, like everything else in fracking. The risks of fracking operations contaminating the air, drinking water, and land are well known, even when wells are operating independently without having been hit by another frack job. Frack job, huh? They're all frack jobs. Now, due to the closer well spacing and frack hits, the risk of environmental damage is increasing. In Oklahoma, oh, who do we know that came from Oklahoma? Remember? EPA. Horizontal wells are bashing through existing conventional wells and causing spills. Mike Cantrell is a small operator of conventional oil wells in Oklahoma who was speaking out about the large fracking companies that are damaging wells like his. They know they're going to ruin your well, and they don't care, Cantrell told E&E News. Yeah, E&E News. I've wanted a subscription with them forever. They want $1,100 a year. I don't ask for money. I can't afford it. The state of Oklahoma acknowledges that spills have occurred, but disputes claims that any groundwater has been contaminated. The standard industry line about fracking. Liars! Liars! And yet, on the website of Angleford Training, under the topic of what are frack hits, the issue of environmental risks is detailed, including a section titled Loss of Well Control. Potential issues listed when well control is lost include a blowout of either frack fluids or charged reservoir fluids. Boy, does this piss me off, because this is the crap that's been happening. And we read these. Kim says most of these young guys are working for these companies because of the big money they pay. Yeah, of course. Well, they're not... because there's no other alternative. And that's the sad part. So, additional risks include the release of deadly hydrogen sulfide gas and the fact that offset well releases will release reservoir fluids, which tend to be extremely flammable, according to the site. So while the industry likes to claim that fracking poses little risk to the environment, the issue of frack hits appears to raise a whole new set of environmental risks. Frack hits may be deadly financial hit to money-losing industry. Well, if it's become a money-losing proposition for the last decade, maybe they'll friggin' get wise. You know, fracking is a thorn in my side. I'll go out of my house. I came downtown because I have to pick up a couple things. I go out maybe once or twice a week. I don't want to use gas. I don't want to do all these things. There's a lot of me's that don't want to do all this stuff. There's a lot of us. I mean, regardless if Dr. McPherson says we have a month, a year, we don't know. We need to be living as if we want to clean this shit up. So this historic money-losing industry is facing a major challenge that could provide to be a fatal flaw in that already failing fracking business models. Terry Pagula, who lives locally to me, and he owns the big sports teams. I did a whole thing on this. He owns the sports teams, and he is a fracker in Pennsylvania, and believe me, he would like to get his hands on the New York State shale gas that I live on top of, and that a lot of farmers in my area and everybody around and going all the way up. the fight is not easy. National Fuel Gas, I'm just going to read you this about them because I found this, they did this presentation. And they're just one company. They are a diversified, integrated natural gas company. And their upstream is developing our large, high-quality acreage position in Marcellus and Utica shales. That's where I live. See right there, oops, wait a minute. This is I'm such a technical genius here. There's New York and there's Pennsylvania and there's all the shit that we take up from there, and National Fuel wants to go through the lake. The river that feeds into Lake Erie. So midstream, expanding and modernizing pipeline infrastructure to provide access to Appalachian supplies. And then downstream, providing safe and reliable, affordable services to customers in Western New York and Northwest Pennsylvania. Only it's funny because their pipeline that we fought, the Northern Access, was going to Canada for overseas sale. So they say they have 743,600 utility customers. I am not one of them. I am not on anything that has a pipe to my house, thank God. But I was, you know. I lived in a place where that's where you had no choice before I moved out here. Basically, I will be doing some more on this because it does affect where I live, and it affects the activism I do talk about. And ramping up here to fight this pipeline again, the New York State DEC has to take it up. I don't have all of the information in front of me. But it's a problem, you know, it's a problem. So while we're here, I'm all for a Green New Deal. I'm all for, you know, doing whatever we can, whatever I know. And, you know, I know a lot. And I do wrestle with it on both sides. You know, well, we're already at the tipping point or we're not. And scientists wrestle with it. But we got to keep going. And I feel that doing some kind of activist movement or activist work, even if you can't do it, you can always write letters. You know, you can always do something to make where you live better, no matter what's going on. I mean, California, they're going to have a lot of things to fight. They have to fight Trump now, wanting to open up to drilling and fracking. I think it's fracking a lot, and it's an earthquake state. I mean, does this make sense? So I guess we all know it's all just capitalistic greed and over-consumerism and all in our comfortable lifestyles, which you know, I could give up if I had to, and who knows? Like, if you listen to Guy McPherson, I'm going to have to give it up because I'm giving up my life. If you listen to other scientists, you know, everybody's acknowledged that there's a problem. Kevin Anderson and Peter Carter and, you know, everybody. It's just, I guess, as the story goes, you never give up and you never quit. And I have this thing up on my Facebook that it essentially says I might feel like crap. You might see me feeling like crap, but I'm never going to quit. And I don't think I'm gonna. And I always say, neither should you. Thanks for coming. I don't want to make this as long as the other day, though. Thank you, and thank you for listening. We don't want fracking. So I'd say it has to be a uniform anti-frack. You know, if you're going to do something. Pool Ball says, guy's right, only his time span's not. Right, well, right. But that doesn't mean I'm going to stop trying to fight these assholes where I live. Right? No, I'm just not going to do it. I'm going to help. Hopefully we'll win again. I don't know. Peace. Bye, guys.